If your raised bed isn't thriving the way it used to, plants yellowing, soil drying faster than it should, or yields dropping year after year, you're not alone. Every gardener hits this wall at some point. You start out with perfect soil, lush greens, and bumper crops. Then suddenly everything turns to struggle. The truth is, most raised beds don't fail because of pests or bad weather. They fail because of a few simple mistakes that build up over time. Mistakes that look harmless on the surface, but slowly choke the life out of your soil from the inside out. Today, we're uncovering the 3 biggest blunders that ruin raised beds, and how to fix them fast before they wreck another season. The first mistake is treating raised bed soil like a one-time investment. When most people build their first raised bed, they fill it with what's marketed as premium garden mix, a blend of compost, peat and topsoil. It feels rich, fluffy and perfect at the start, but by the 2nd or 3rd year, the structure collapses. That's because compost and peat break down rapidly. They shrink, compact and lose oxygen space, leaving the soil dense and lifeless. Roots can't breathe, water pools on top, and microbial life crashes. This is the beginning of soil fatigue, the silent killer of raised beds. The fix isn't adding more fertilizer or more compost, it's rebuilding structure with long-term ingredients. Every 1 to 2 years, you should top-dress your raised bed with coarse organic matter like shredded wood chips, rice hulls, or chopped straw. These materials don't decompose as fast, and they create permanent pore spaces that allow oxygen and moisture to move freely. A healthy raised bed should never be fluffy like potting mix. It should feel springy, alive, and full of texture. To revive a bed that's already compacted, take a garden fork, not a shovel, and gently aerate the top 8 inches by wiggling it in without turning the soil. This preserves microbial layers while restoring airflow. Then spread 2 inches of coarse mulch on top and let the worms do the rest. Within a few weeks, they'll reopen channels and reintroduce structure. Think of it as soil therapy. It's about breathing life back into the ecosystem you built, not starting over. The second mistake is letting organic matter burn out without replenishing it. One of the most common misunderstandings about raised beds is that they're self-sustaining once filled. The truth is, every harvest removes nutrients, and decomposition constantly consumes carbon. Over time, this leads to what farmers call organic matter burnout. You'll recognize it when your soil turns pale, water drains too quickly, and plants look weak even after feeding. What's happening is simple. The microbes are starving. The ancient fix, and still the best, is carbon layering. Old farmers used to maintain fertility not by dumping fertilizer, but by returning plant matter to the soil every cycle. After each harvest, they'd lay a mix of green waste and brown waste, things like pulled weeds, dried leaves, straw and crop residues, right on the bed and let it decompose in place. This constant layering replenishes carbon, feeds microbes and moderates moisture. In modern terms, this is called sheet composting, but it's nothing new. The Romans did it, the Chinese practiced it for centuries, and it's still how regenerative farmers sustain fertility today. To apply this practically, after every growing season, don't strip your bed bare. Cut plants at the base, leave the roots in the soil, and cover the top with a mix of green clippings and brown mulch. Add a light sprinkling of compost or aged manure to accelerate decomposition. By spring, that layer will have transformed into new humus, effectively rebuilding your soil's energy bank. You'll find that each season gets easier, not harder, because your bed is gaining organic depth rather than losing it. The third mistake is ignoring water movement and the life it supports. You see, most raised beds suffer from either too much water or not enough, and both problems really stem from the same issue: poor water design. Many gardeners think drainage holes or gravel are enough, But water movement in soil isn't about escape routes. It's about balance. When water sits stagnant, it suffocates roots and drives away beneficial microbes. On the other hand, when it drains too fast, it leaches nutrients and leaves roots thirsty. Either extreme, quite frankly, kills productivity. Traditional farmers understood this long before plastic liners and irrigation timers existed. They built beds that mimicked nature's layers, coarse material at the base for drainage, mid-soil that holds moisture, and organic mulch on top to reduce evaporation. That layering created a self-regulating system where water never stagnated and never vanished too quickly. Now, you can restore this same principle today without tearing your bed apart. Start by checking your bed after a heavy rain. If water pools for more than an hour, your drainage is compromised. Use a broad fork or auger to loosen compacted zones so water can move vertically. Then add a surface mulch, something light like shredded bark or straw, to prevent evaporation. If you live in a hot climate, line the top of the soil with a thin layer of biochar before mulching. Biochar acts like a sponge, holding water molecules and slowly releasing them back to plant roots. It's the same principle used in ancient Amazonian terra preta soils that remained fertile for centuries. One overlooked factor is the edge of the raised bed. Wooden or metal sides heat up faster than ground soil, which accelerates drying along the borders. You can fix this by planting moisture-tolerant herbs like basil or oregano along the inside edge. Raised beds thrive only when treated as living ecosystems. A raised bed isn't just a box of dirt, it's an entire ecosystem. Microbes, fungi, worms, roots and minerals work in harmony to feed each other. When one part breaks, the system unravels. The three blunders, compaction, organic matter depletion and poor water balance, are symptoms of forgetting that truth. The more you treat your raised bed like living soil instead of a container, the longer it will thrive without external inputs. Once you understand the rhythm, adding core structure, feeding carbon and maintaining water balance, you'll find your beds returning to that first-year vitality. Plants will grow stronger, pest pressure will drop, and your soil will stay loose and fertile year after year. If you're building a new bed today, remember, longevity comes from biology, not bags of fertilizer. Build for breathability, feed for life, and water for balance. If your raised bed already seems ruined, don't rip it out, revive it. With just a few weeks of focused effort, you can bring it back stronger than ever. For more deep, practical guides like this, grounded in both traditional wisdom and modern soil science, subscribe to Hydrohaven. Share this with someone whose garden bed is struggling and help them turn frustration into resilience. Your soil can recover, your harvest can return, and it all starts with understanding how to work with nature, not against it.